Today, we gonna show y'all how to make sure y'all house don't be funky, how to clean the English Bulldog cage. Finna show y'all. Let's get into it. No, why you following your back? Huh? Alright. First, you're gonna need a hose. You're gonna need a good hose. What you gonna do? Just gonna spray it down. Gonna spray it down. Both. Spray on down. Make sure you put Miss ass. Look at her. She act like she's scared of it. You just spray every side. I put it on shower just for the first few, but really, you can put it on jet. It's gonna add a little bit of pressure to it to make sure all that little hair gone. You get up close with it. And you just knock all that little hair, knock all that stuff out. So, the cage really kind of the easy part. What you really wanna focus on is that right there. That's what keep the funk all in the house. So you wanna spray it down. And when they in heat, sometimes instead of doing it once a week, I ain't did this in about like a week and a half, 2 weeks. You wanna do this like once a week. This make your house not smell like dog. Keep that fresh scent around so when people walk in your house, they won't even know you got a dog. So spray that down. So boom, second step, like I said, the tray is your main part. All-purpose disinfectant, Clorox. That's what you need. Next step you do, you spray it down. You don't need a whole bunch, you just need a good spray. Hey, look at Fat Mama always getting in the way. No mamas. Hey. The only thing you do is let that sit for about like a little minute or two, you know. Let that stuff soak in. As y'all can see, she thick. Hey, we're gonna do a video on the next one on how to feed her. If y'all want y'all dog thick like this, hey, tune in for the next video. The third thing you need. All right, so the first two things, water hose, Clorox. Set them right there. Third thing you need is a good old cleaning brush. Always use a brush that you only gonna use this for. I don't wanna use this cleaning brush on my shower, my bathroom, nothing else other than this. So always keep you one cleaning brush that you only use this for. All right, so boom. What you're gonna do, you're gonna wet your cleaning brush. Get that real wet. Hey, get wet. Don't be scared of getting wet. You know? What you gonna do? Gonna turn that thing on. You just gonna get in there. You just scrub that thing. You know. Hey, even if you gotta do it like this, there's multiple ways you can do it. You don't gotta do it standing up. You wanna get all in the crevices and the cracks. And that's why I use a small brush, so you can get in them cracks. I don't kinda play all that. My house smelling like dog. So you come out here, and you clean the tray. You wanna just clean the whole tray. You get all up in there. Boom. So you take some of that water from here, off this. You can just get in the cracks of this. This optional. Because really the dog front don't really kind of like stay up in this part right here. But this kind of optional if you want to get like, make sure all the dog hair gone. This very optional. Turn her over. You know they not tall, so, well, my bulldog not tall. So you just get on the top. It's very optional. You really don't gotta do this. I'm really just doing this for y'all. Just get in the little crevices. The bottom part, I do recommend that. And you just get through there. Like I said, very optional. You ain't gotta do this part. As long as you spray this now, and it's cool, just to get all the little hair. Put it on jet, or if you got a pressure washer, that's better to get all the hair out of the, what's it gonna call it? So yeah. Boom. So what you do, after I clean that, I let that sit for like a minute to sometimes 3 minutes. Just let that soak in. And I spray that off. And then after that, we done. Like 3 minutes approximately. We got the water back on. She ready. Only thing to do is wash her off. You can use gloves too, you know. I'm a male, so you know how that be. Females, y'all can use gloves, however y'all want to do it to be extra clean. Spray the back off. You know, you don't really want them sniffing in all that Clorox, so I kind of spray it off kind of overly. You can zoom into that. Now look, she clean. She smell fresh. All right, now follow me this way. So, what I did, you know, I scrubbed the little kennel. And I'm gonna hit this one with this kind of shower. You know, rinse her off. You know, rinse her off real good. And I'm gonna show you what I'm finna do with the tray, because I really don't want the tray really catching all that dirt, you know, etc. Because my baby lay on that, so. Rinse this off pretty good. Tray is the most important part. That's what keeps all the funk. So, what I do, spray this off really good. And then boom, what I preferably do is grab the tray, put the tray on top. Make sure all the water out from the bottom. Put the tray on top. Boom. And there we go. We got it. I'm gonna clean the tray. And you got all the little fucking dog smell out the house. You don't want no dog smell in the house. When people walk in your house, they should know that no dog live there until the dog speak. So yeah. All right, so this cage right here called a drop cage. So you got the tray. And you got the thing, this other little thing that they sleep on. I put her drop cage is for when she in heat. Because when you put them in a drop cage, instead of them sitting in the other cage, they'll just be sitting in the period blood and etc. So she just came off her heat not too long ago. So we're gonna watch both of these. So you gotta think about the period blood, get on this, and I also get on that. But we put a pad up under this right here. So let's get into it. So the drop tray, obviously you see, I'm gonna clean this. Disinfect that. This would be ready for when she come in heat again. Usually I don't let her sleep in the drop tray unless she in heat, because she really like the other cage better, which is crazy. This drop tray costs you about $140, but the other cage only costs you about $36. It's crazy how dogs like the cheap stuff. So you disinfect that. I usually do top and bottom. I'm gonna spray this one off first. I'm gonna spray this one on off. Hey, as soon as you spray her off, what you'll do, same method as the first. Spray this. Turn the camera over here, Ken. Remember, spray the back side of this too. So when she have her heat, I usually put it on the drop tray. You really don't gotta clean none of the tray either, because the drop tray, after you see that, I'll take you up and after we set it up, you see how more spacious this is. You get a disinfectant wipe and everything and wipe that down. When we go up there and we're about to put this back all together, I'll show you that too, how to wipe that down. What you're gonna do, you're gonna wet the shower brush, of course. Get this a little moist. Hey, turn around, same steps as the other one. You wanna just get everywhere. This one a little easier because they don't got that many crevices and cracks. But I do recommend drop cage, especially if you have a puppies. You know, puppies, they can't hold their bladder or their stool as long as adult dogs. So, you know, this holds the pee to go to the bottom and the poop to go to the bottom. So, you clean it. Remember, no dog smell in the house. You always want to make sure your house smell clean. Make sure your dog smell clean. Remember, this shower brush is only for the dog only. All right, so we come over here. Same spot, you can let that sit. You can kind of do it like this. So you can get all the little grillies, put it on top of the tray. You want to get everything. I want to disinfect all that cycle blood in it and everything. You want to disinfect this. Remember, when they're in a cycle, you want to clean this 2 times a week. Because if you breed or if you're an upcoming breeder, bruh, that period blood, it gets smelly sometimes, man. And then it be so much, you don't want to see that, man. You want to make sure your dog is in a clean environment. It's like, would you really want to lay in blood or dried up blood? So yeah. So I clean the front part, flip it around. And actually, I got this drop cage off TikTok. It was like 129 plus tax. You just want to make sure you clean all that. Hey, and even if you don't have a female that's in heat, even if you got a puppy, puppies tend to use the bathroom through the night or whatever. You can do that also. Clean this, 2 puppies, man, 2 to 3. They seem like they can't hold their pee. Well, we all know puppies can't hold their pee and their doo-doo through the night. So, you really don't want your house smelling like pee and doo-doo, So, after you're done scrubbing, you come back to your water hose. You clean her. I don't like that water. So, after this cleaned off, you spray off. Of course, spray it through. You don't want none of this stuff left on, I spray all my stuff all the way through. I kind of go, in a pattern, get all this stuff through. You want to kind of really put this in like shower so it can cover more area on this part right here. And what you do, right here, hey, don't be scared of getting wet. Put you some clothes on when you don't care about getting wet, man. You don't get a little wet, especially outside. Now, if you do it in the house, you might not get as wet. But I'm gonna take this thing outside. Just boom. Should air dry. This, this is how I set the kennel back up. It been dried off and everything. You put it back in as normal. You put the part where they're sleeping on, and then I put the bottom part back in, as you can see with the pads, because it's almost by her time to come up, man. You always got to stay prepared. You don't never want to wait till the last minute. If you're unprepared, that is when everything goes left. So you always got to stay prepared. So, I already got it up in there or whatever. Because when she goes to bed, you ain't even got to say cage, or if you say cage, she goes to the other one, which I'm finna show you in just a second. But this is the one where she goes to, as you can see, when she's in heat. If you open this up, you know, this is a good kennel from TikTok. Got these latches, as you can see. Got these latches, you can open it. So, you know, I really didn't even have to open that, but it's the door right here. Another latch at the bottom. But as you can see, this part is where she lays on. So when she's in heat, this helps. When she is bleeding, it goes straight down to the pad. This is exactly the kennel for her up in heat, or this is the kennel also if you have any puppies, 8 weeks, let's just say 4 to 8 weeks, really 4 weeks to like 5 to 6 months. It really take them like 4 to 6 months to actually stop using the bathroom in the kennel, stop using it, and they can hold it over the night. So, you know, you want to get your good drop cage for little pups, so you know they're not sitting in the cage or whatever, and they like in the other kennel, and they use the bathroom, they stepping all in it, or if they pee up in there, as soon as you get them out and you get ready to take them to the bathroom, they cover their whole pee. You know, you don't want that. So then that causes you to take them more baths, rinse them off every day or anything. So newborn pups, bring your dog, you always want a drop kennel. We got the other kennel set up. So, you know, she is potty trained all the way to the max. So I really just put like a little bed up in there for her, so you know she ain't just sleeping on straight plastic time, or she just got out of a heat and I know it's not coming no time soon. She sleeping it. She sleep in this cage, but this is her favorite cage. Like when it's time to go to bed or anything, she sleeps in this cage or whatever. So this is the cage. So, you know, I put a nice comfy bed up in there for her, not too thick or whatever. So put a good little nice bed that just almost covered the whole crate. So yes, sir. So yeah, that's how you keep your house clean. I mean your house smelling good. So you don't smell like dog. You know, I clean it out once a week. This is like a weekly thing for me. But remember, when the dog is in heat, you're gonna typically do this 2 times a week, because the dog heat cycle, or the period, or whatever you like to call it, usually has a smell on it. Ain't that right, mamas? Hey, right now she got the little gangster look on her, you know. This her little gangster look on her. Look at her. Ain't that right, mama? Ain't that right, mama? But as you can see, the temperament is good, man. You know, she follow me everywhere I go. She never outside of return. So, hey, like, subscribe, comment down below to follow on this path. Big Country Bulldogs. We out.